Good morning, all you lovelies. Oh my God. You know when you have that feeling like you just have to say something? That's kind of what I'm going through right now. I'm just like, so much is pouring out of my soul right now. And I'm just like, get this woman a microphone, you know? So that's what I'm doing. I'm like, okay, give myself a microphone. Oh my gosh, I am just really wanting to tap in today to talk about this concept of rebirthing. And it's been a theme that keeps coming up, and I myself have been going through a massive rebirthing once again, and it's such a huge part of our soul's journey and the work that I do with clients. And I really do feel like, in a sense, I am this like mother presence that welcomes women in to be able to facilitate that rebirthing process for themselves, and especially within the context of relationships. And women come to me saying, "Hey, I want to be able to improve my love life. I want to attract that man. I want to rekindle my relationship with my man." But it always comes back down to rekindling that relationship with self, and usually rebirthing ourselves to become newer, more beautiful, and more fully expressed versions of ourself that we've been hiding from really truly being. And so talking about this concept of rebirthing is just such a beautiful, beautiful thing, because in this process of rebirthing, what we're doing is we're truly letting our old identity of self die. And a lot of people refer to this as an ego death. And when we do that, it is really shedding a layer of the way that we used to see ourselves so that we can actually be more fully expressed for men to see us. And so when women come to me and there's something happening in their love life that they're not wanting, usually lack of lack of relationship, or patterns of toxic men, or patterns of just weird dating things that keep recurring over and over again, to me that's a complete sign that there is some sort of block, there's some sort of layer, there's some sort of shield around our heart, around your heart, that has been keeping you from being fully truly expressed in your highest self with men. And the interesting thing about this is, like, we can be fully expressed as our highest self in other areas of our life while still having the block around being fully expressed with men. So this was like a huge thing for me a long time ago. Like, I remember feeling so confident and so powerful and so just like lit up and like just so on top of my game in every area of my life, like except for relationships, for a really long time. I was like crushing it in the career world. I was, I had an apartment of my own in the city of San Francisco. I had an amazing group of friends. I had this sweet, sexy little car that I would drive. And like, I just felt on top of my game. But yet there was still a massive block in the area of love and relationships. And for the longest time, that was my big block, was not even realizing that there was a block around relationships, right? And I think, I think probably a lot of my listeners too, maybe this is something for you to really uncover and explore for yourself, because a lot of times when we are these powerful women, we look to the world and we say, yes, no, I've done it. I've done the work, and if you're listening to me too, you've probably done a lot of work on yourself. And I love that. And I want you to be, doing that work on yourself. But sometimes we hide, or we shy away from doing the work on ourselves where it really actually matters and where it really is important. And in the area of relationships, I feel like that one just gets discounted a lot, because we don't ever think about needing to work on our relationships. It's like one of these things where we just kind of expect, like, of course, like, I'm just going to be good at relationships. Like, yeah, like, it's not something you have to like go and study. You just do it, And then we do that for, 10, 20, 30, 40, sometimes maybe 50 years of our lives. And then we're like, wait a second. There's some relationships here that are like really not good, or there's some patterns here that I really don't like. And it's in these moments when we have to really like wake up to this realization of like, shit, maybe I don't have it all together. Like, maybe this is actually something that really does need some attention. So yeah, all that to say, when we do decide that, okay, you know what, I'm ready to shift into a new presence within me for my relationships to flourish, we tend to go through this beautiful birthing process and rebirthing process. And I want to speak to this, and it's so like fresh on my mind right now, because I literally have just I feel like, come through another rebirthing within myself. And I am a very, very spiritual person. This is something that I've been, even in the last few months, have been really diving deep into connecting to my highest self and to the self even that is not even here on this physical earth, but that is in the source, in the heavens, connected into universal knowledge and intelligence, and really starting to cultivate that relationship so much more strongly and so much more powerfully. And it is helping me to really tap into this next evolved version and self of me. And so I want to really talk about this rebirthing process, because when we do this, we really do shift our world from the inside out. We can like literally turn our entire world upside down in a good way when we put the intention on fixing the insides first. And actually, you know what? Fixing is too strong of a word, because fixing implies that there's something wrong. There's never anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing that needs fixing. It's always just about continuing to pivot and adjust and tweak and sometimes heal from things that weren't good and didn't feel good. But it's always for your highest good and for your biggest enlightenment. Because to me, that's really what we're all here for, right? Our souls are here to evolve and to grow and to expand and to become greater and greater light beings for this planet, and whatever that means. Because when we are bigger light beings on this planet, we're able to really tap into our deeper desires, and those deeper desires are what are our missions on this planet to do. And so we have to really take care of the relationship with self and the relationship with the other selves in our world, so that we can feel safe to be able to step into that presence to shine on a stronger level. Because we all know, right? Like when something isn't working with relationships, nothing in our life can really flourish or thrive. Like I know for me, although my life was flourishing and thriving, so I thought, like, my brain was so always consumed with this idea of, oh, but my relationships suck, or, oh, I haven't found the one yet, or, oh my gosh, maybe he likes me. Oh my God, what did I do wrong? Oh my God, I'm heartbroken again. Like that was just where my mind was all the time. It was just this constant running chatter of just like consumed in this world of like, I want to meet my partner. I have so much love to give. I want to feel loved. I want to be able to snuggle with my man. Like I want all these things. And when we're so attached to wanting all those things, it just really consumes so much of that brain power that when that area is healed in our life, we can do so much more for the world, right? We can really, truly be the most powerful presence for the world. And that's why I'm so goddamn stoked to be doing this work, and that this is my calling for the world, is to help women to continue to open up and expand themselves in this area of relationships, and really heal and nurture and thrive in relationships with men, so that they can feel fully supported and just nourished and just like lifted up even higher than we can even lift ourselves up to go and do what we need to do for the world. Right? It's like total Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And so when you get to this point of you've got the basics covered, you got the job covered, and now you're getting into the relationship space, this is where I live. So let's really talk about this rebirthing. So if you've done self-development work on yourself in the past, like you've probably experienced this before. It's like this, it's like a cycle. And I want to speak to this cycle so that you can know that no matter where you are in your journey on this path of growth, it's all good and it's all important and it's all a huge part of the journey. So it's really important to not reject maybe the parts that aren't so fun, just trying to speed to the next part, because we can't. It's all a part of the process. And the more we try to resist it, the longer it's going to take to get through it and to the other side. So really what it starts with is a desire, right? A desire and a contrast. So something in your experience is making you realize like, ooh, there's a contrast here. I don't like where I'm at and I want to be over there. Or I like where I'm at and I want to continue to evolve to become a better, higher, version of myself over there. So this could be around money, but I'm going to talk about relationships. So I'm at this place either with my man or with dating or being single, and you know what? It works for me. It's okay, but I would really like to be over here. And with that contrast, literally, it's like a stretching. It's a stretching and it's a shooting off of a desire over into there. So then there becomes this just really big discord within your soul, where part of your soul is here in the present moment, in this reality, recognizing, okay, I'm here, this is my reality. And there's another part of your soul that's now shooting off into the future, being like, that's where I want to be. That's what I want. That's where like my happiest self is, right? And so in this stretching, that's usually when it first starts at this like, this doesn't feel good. Oh God. And it starts to be, the mind chatter comes in, the inner critic starts coming in, starting to like kind of cut you down and say like, God, why are you here? You should be over there. What's wrong with you? Right? Then we move into this place of like, okay, I need to do something about this. I either need to get help, or I need to read some books, or I need to take a course, or I need to figure out something to help me shift through this. So maybe then we get into hiring a coach, or we take a seminar, or we read some books that really help us to deepen into our thoughts, or maybe we go into a deep meditation practice and we start to sift out some of the things that have been blocking us. And in that process, like that can take a long time, or that can take a really short time, but it's really about how you really choose to embrace this resistance and this contrast and these deeper blocks. And sometimes it really helps to have someone to be able to reflect back to you so that you can actually see what are the things that you can't see, right? Because it's really hard to see what your blocks are when you can't see them yourself, because if you saw them yourself, they wouldn't be blocks, right? So I know for me, sometimes I've hired coaches around this, and other times it comes up in themes in my life. And this is where I'm just like thanking the universe, thanking God so much. I'm like, thank you, God, for helping me to start to see these themes. And when you don't see the themes in your life, I mean, the universe is always showing up to show you the themes, to show you what you need to see, but we're not always aware or keen or in tune enough to be able to actually see it show up as a theme. Sometimes if you don't listen to it, it's going to smack you upside the head and it's going to get stronger and stronger and louder and louder. So hopefully you can catch these themes before it gets to like really insane, bad, traumatic things that happen in your life. And I know people that have had that happen, where it was like, it just kind of kept it was kind of like this background noise for a long time, and it wasn't addressed until it got to be like really, really challenging things in their life, and ended up like having really deep things happen in their life that just completely tore them apart and made them surrender into like and letting go of all this. But hopefully you can catch these themes early, or have a mentor, have a coach help you see these themes and these blocks. But you recognize there's a theme, and it always comes back to a theme and a pattern. So sometimes, let's like say for me, like there was this feeling of like feeling unsafe. And I was like, this is so weird. Like, why is it that I'm feeling unsafe? And when you